tidy that. When I found mine dead on the couch in my flat. So much to say, I wish I could have said bye. Only time I talk to him is when I look into the sky.
In every family, children are a product of their parents' influence, for good or bad. This week, David Cameron compared his new concept of social mobility to the discovery of E equals MC squared.
What matters most to a child's life chances is not the wealth of their upbringing, but the warmth of their parenting.
Speaking of wealth, what makes RBS Chief Executive Stephen Hester such a happy boy? His caring upbringing by chemistry professor Daddy and psychologist Mummy, who thinks he earns too much? Or is it those banking bonuses, estimated at a whopping £1.5 billion?
One big smile on my face, darling, it's just you and me.
Now I'm on some outfit behavior, I'll call you back later. Too many fish in the sea for me.
So will anybody buy Mr. Cameron's message that it's kindness over economics that makes a happy family? And for those who are growing up without wealth, what will they want for their future families? And we're joined now by two of the group of Dubz of the famous hit single, I Need You. Welcome to This Week. Good to see you both.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Yeah.
Pleasure.
Fraser and Dappy. You're Fraser, you're Dappy.
Yes.
So we got it right.
Not just
Parenting.
right.
Almost right.
Phaser.
Oh, Phaser.
Phaser.
Ah, good. I like it.
How are you guys? We're here to...
Now,
Yeah, we're great. Thank you.
Good.
what does good parenting mean to you?
Well, what can I say about good parenting? It means a lot to me because my family means the world to me right now. Don't really get much time to spend with them, so every second is very, very, very important to me.
Were your parents important to you as you were brought up?
Of course.
Yeah, most
Yeah.
definitely.
I mean, especially to get brought up in such a negative background and to still have a parent there, mum, dad or mum, to still care for you and not to want anything to happen to you. And at the same time, they're not wealthy, but all they got is their warmth.
And they care about you?
Yeah, most definitely.
And if it weren't for my pops or my mum or Faye's mum or dad, I mean, I don't think we'll be in a good position here today. But I mean, we're a success today. I think.
No, there's no question about that.
Slowly.
Slowly, still more work to
Even
do.
Michael had heard of you. He's never heard of anybody.
Yeah?
Yes, sir. You're cool now.
If you're born in a tough estate,
Yeah.
and you not got any money, your parents are quite poor. It helps you though if you got parents who care.
Yeah,
that
most
can
definitely.
help you overcome a difficult background.
One piece of advice I'll give to any parents at the moment, if your child has any sort of talent or anything like that, just make sure you 100% back him.
Encourage it.
The whole way, because they need that, because there's not much for a young youth like myself or Dappy prior to Dubz to look forward to, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
David Cameron mentioned warmth, and you mentioned that earlier on. He didn't mention discipline. I know.
Discipline, listen, I'll tell you, my mum used to put black pepper in my mouth, straight up, get the wooden spoon and whatnot, bam, bam. Like,
Yeah, man.
When my mum would always tell me, she'll be blunt forward with me. If I couldn't have the trainers I wanted, Faisal will explain as well, if I couldn't have the trainers I wanted, she'll be blunt forward with me. She'll try everything she can to try and get me the trainers, but if she couldn't, she'll say, listen, you're not having them. And I'll be like, I'll have a big, like... But it taught me, like, where I come from today and the discipline that my mum and my pops gave me, it's made me who I am today, and I think it's the same for Faisal.
So why doesn't David Cameron talk a bit more about discipline as well
you tell us, Mr.
as
David,
warmth?
about discipline.
I'm not Mr. David. Well,
He'd like to be though.
yeah, no, that's.
His time
I think
has
that's a good
passed.
question. I mean, let me tell you where I think a lot of this stuff is coming from. There's an organisation called the Kids Company.
Yeah.
With Camilla Batman-Jelig,
Yeah.
who's the lady who runs it. She's a very remarkable woman. She's done fantastic work with kids. And I think she probably put the thought in David Cameron's mind. You know, he was misinterpreted a year ago or so when he's this thing about hug a hoodie. I mean, what he was saying was what kids actually need is a bit of love. They need someone who's actually going to care for them, and that's actually the most important thing. And the kids who are going, way offline, it is mainly because nobody cared about them.
So isn't part of caring, if you're a youngster, although you might not like it at the time, remember, I didn't like it, but part of being cared for is also being disciplined in the sense of being set boundaries and guidelines.
It's about discipline, and my parents were very old-fashioned West Indian parents, and they would say to my brother and I, my father would say, go and get the belt, because he had a belt hanging in, and we'd go and get the belt. Modern children wouldn't do that. But it's also about paying attention. There was a very interesting article a few weeks ago about increasing numbers of children are talking later because they're not spoken to at home. Their parents are watching television and playing video games. It's not enough to care, you actually have to pay attention.
Did the education system let you down?
No, I can't say the education system let me down, but I could say my head was focused on other things, if you know what I'm trying to say. Instead of focusing on education, I was focusing on trying to earn money, whereas my parents didn't have money to give me to go to school and stuff like that. Like Dappy said earlier, you'd ask your mum for a pair of trainers. She'd say, OK, I'll get them for you. But 5 minutes later, you walk back into the room and your mum's crying because she can't afford to pay for them.
And that's psychologically, like...
It will affect you as a young youth, man.
Can I just ask, are those real diamonds in your watch and your rings?
They are.
Wow.
As you notice, Diane always asks the really important questions. Can I...
Very important.
Can I ask you,
Probably what the viewers were
does it have to be a parent? Because a lot of families don't... I mean, there may be only one parent, or they may even not have that, or they may be kind of strolling players coming in and out of their life of young kids in very dysfunctional families. Can a grandparent do this? Can an aunt do this? Can an uncle play this role as well?
Well, yeah, I can answer that. As Dappy fully understands, his dad, rest in peace, passed away 3 years ago now, and his uncle is like just as close to him as his father was.
So it can be done.
It can be
it's the role model that matters.
Yeah,
it's
the person behind everything that can push you to be the person that you are.
And it's like now you've got a responsibility. You've got your mum there. Hi, mum, I love you. And you got your mum there, your older brother, and you know that you're the man of the house now. You're financially becoming stable and whatnot. And you was nothing really in the beginning, and now you've got the responsibility, and it's like a great feeling now to know that I'm looking after my mum, my brother.
Serious.
Well, you got something to pay back.
Yeah, of course.
When politicians talk about things like this, about family, about discipline, about warmth, is anybody out there listening in your age group?
I don't think so. I don't think many people my age are listening to politics at the moment. It's because they don't feel like there's any sort of connection. That's why we're here today, to actually talk about this and speak on behalf of a lot of the youth today.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of shocked at the MP's wife and what's happened with the whole 19-year-old
Shocking,
thing.
isn't it?
Madness.
I have to intervene in that. I think it's absolutely
Now you're taking the moral high ground.
Scary.
But then you are a parent, and so you have to set standards.
Yes, I am.
For your child.
I love you, Gino.
What kind of parent are you going to be?
I'm going to be... Well, I'm
Present, I hope.
Of course, madam, of course. I've got a young girlfriend there waiting. She teaches me a lot of stuff as well.
Good to
It
hear.
should be a two-way process.
And I'm not... It's all happened very fast for me. All the success and all the phases will tell you. It's like we have to become gentlemen all of a sudden very quickly. You know,
You just got to adapt to it.
It's taken him years to do that, and he's still struggling.
Yes,
to be a gentleman. I got one final question for Matt. I Need You, the great hit. I know you must love it. But what's your favourite mix?
What's he talking about?
The mix of I Need You. What's your favourite mix? He does nothing. You will
That's
never...
very sadistic of you, Andrew.
My favourite mix is the War Mix.
the
War Mix. I like that.
She's loving the diamonds.
You will never see these again. I will tell you.
Do you know what it is? We buy things like that because we had nothing.
Yeah, so it's
nothing.
nice to
we
have
had
now.
literally nothing. So for us to go out and buy a little diamond thing, it means a lot to us to be able to have the money to be
Let me give you advice, because we're out of time.
Yeah.
Make sure you get it back before you leave the studio.
Will do.
And Dubz, thanks for being with
thank
us
you.
tonight.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Nice.
Out there, that's your lot for tonight. We know you can't get enough of them. So we thought we'd leave you with a bit more of Alistair Campbell, who made it clear he had no regrets over Iraq. Now, Alistair is bilingual, and of course, what he does in the privacy of his own bedroom is entirely his affair. But if he testified in French, I think he'd be saying, Je ne regrette rien. Nighty-night.
Non.